Bella. Welcome to Bella Uncinetto. I'm Christina, and I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. Today, we are here for an episode of Fiber Arts on Screen, and that is a series where I talk to you about how we see various fiber arts show up on the big screen, the tiny screen, all the screens. So it could be the silver screen, right, as in a movie. It could be your TV screen, a tablet, your phone, however you watch videos, right? And today we are going to talk about Gilmore Girls. This is a show that I know has been very popular. I have not seen all of it. I've seen some episodes. I have a really good friend who is obsessed with Gilmore Girls. So I had done an episode a while back where I got some stitch markers from Lether Co. when they were closing down. Lether Co. Owner also really loved Gilmore Girls and did a whole like Stars Hollow series, all this stuff. And I gave those to my friend because she really loved them. But I myself have not watched all of them. Now I've seen some of them, like I said, because my friend is obsessed. And so that is her go-to comfort sort of show, and I've seen a couple of them. They're pretty good. I mean, I don't generally watch a ton of TV, as I've explained before. That's not the place to tell this story, but I can tell it another time if you wish. Um, so as I was doing my research, I found that there was not a lot of specific instances where you see the actual art of anything having to do with fiber arts. However, there are a lot of examples of wearables. So in the pilot episode, Rory is wearing a cable knit sweater. I think when she was in the diner, Luke's diner. And then all throughout the series, you see Lorelai especially wearing lots of knit hats and scarves. So in the description box, I am going to put, and there are going to be some pictures of some of these things popping up, but I'm going to put some patterns for some of the things that have been made. Like, let's see, there is this I Smell Snow Beanie, or Smells Like Snow Beanie by Knit Guru. Um, there is the Lorelei Scarf by Brownie Knits, the Gilmore Skinny Scarf by Selena Miskin. All of those are knit. There are some examples for skinny scarves in crochet. There's not a specific pattern tied to Gilmore Girls, but you can look up any skinny scarf crochet pattern and it'll fit, right? So, uh, but there's a lot of times where she's wearing a hat and scarf. It may not match, but there are a lot of instances where she does wear those. And there are some machine knitted sweaters as well. I didn't include pictures of those, but um, I did see them when I was doing my research. So, the biggest thing that shows up in Gilmore Girls is in season 7, episode 9. It's called Knit People Knit. And they are having a huge fundraiser to raise money for Old Muddy Bridge. And they decide to put on a knit-a-thon. And you see all the people in the town knitting, 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 knitting. And I did actually go and find that episode and watch it because I was like, I mean, if I'm gonna talk about it, I want to at least watch it. And I was looking to see if not only they were showing knitting, were people doing it correctly? Because I don't knit, but I understand the hand placement, and I've seen other people do like knitting tutorials and things like that. So there were a couple of people in the video in the episode that were holding their knitting needles correctly, and there were a couple people that weren't. So if you ever do get a chance to go and watch the episode, um, definitely check out their hand placement. It was interesting. It's almost like people from the crew maybe knit the piece and then had them put it in their hands and make the movements, right? Now, some of those people may very well knit. That did not come up in my research. If people from the show actually knit, if you know that, that would be great information. Now, as popular of a show as Gilmore Girls was, right? There was also a knitting book that was designed. So it's the Gilmore Girls knitting book, and there is a pattern in there for a Lorelai hat. But the hat that's in there is from the 2016 where they did A Year in the Life. So it was like the revival of Gilmore Girls, like later on, so many years in the future, where Rory has written an article and she's looking for work, I think it said. And it goes through seasons. So there's 4 episodes, and it goes through all 4 seasons. So you go through the whole year. And I will put a link to that book also in the description box. I did, while I was looking up the um, information, I was trying to see, especially in the knit-a-thon episode, if they shopped for yarn in the episode, and they did not. There's also, I could not find in any of my research the fact that there was a yarn shop in Stars Hollow. So Stars Hollow was a made up town, but it was inspired by a town in Connecticut. Um, I think it was called Washington. I could be wrong. But since there's been such a popularity of the show, it's become one of those like pop culture icon shows. And in the town of Washington, there's now a Stars Hollow yarn shop, but it did not exist in the show. So if you are a Gilmore Girls fan and you've ever been or want to go to Washington, Connecticut, you can go to the Stars Hollow yarn shop if you are a fiber artist and get some yarn that may be named after a character or a place or an episode. I don't know. Also, if we go back to the revival, uh, the 4 seasons, Year in the Life, the producers of the show actually worked with a different yarn company. It was called Sifu. I may be pronouncing that wrong. Design Studio and Fine Yarns in Chicago, because there are a couple of items that they had handmade for Rory and Paris. Paris, I believe, was a friend of Rory's. Um, the episodes that I've seen, sometimes they were more like frenemies than best friends. I think they grow into friends later. Because I've definitely not seen, like, this was talking about season 7, episode 9. And I went and watched the episode, but I definitely did not see all of that season. I didn't even know how many seasons there were, to be honest. Um, so it's been quite a journey trying to find out some of these things. And I love this series. I love doing it. But it does hinder me some because I don't watch TV. So I'm like, oh, is this something that I need to continue doing? But anyway, I am hoping you're enjoying the pictures. This is not a super long episode because there's not a lot in the show. Like, I could talk about each intricate piece of the different hats and scarves, but they're really there's not a different pattern other than the Lorelai hat from the revival where there's a pattern on it. The rest of them are just solid color knit beanies. So I will put the links in the description box for all of the things that I mentioned, the patterns. I'll put links to the Stars Hollow Yarns shop if I can find one, and the Chicago Yarn shop if I can find one, and then all of the patterns. So, if there is a show that you would be interested in seeing in this series, please put it in the description box. I would love to know if there's a show that you would like for me to feature. It doesn't have to be an American show, it can be a British show or an Indian show or uh, anything, right? If I can, I don't know what that was. If I can find it online and at least kind of get an idea of the show, so I'm not just talking blind, right? I can definitely figure it out. So I would love to hear from you. And also, have you watched Gilmore Girls? Is that a show that you're familiar with? Are you as obsessed with it as my friend is? Um, if you are, what was your favorite? Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite boyfriend of Rory? That's a popular question that always sparks a huge argument with my friend if someone says someone that she doesn't agree with. So sometimes I like to just rile her up on purpose. I'll be like, no, this one makes a better boyfriend. She's like, why? Tell me why. Like, I don't know. She knows that I don't watch it, so she wants me. She wants me to give her evidence. I just like to see her get upset. So, I look forward to your comments and I look forward to any suggestions that you have. And until I see you again, be well, be safe, and be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao, Bella.